This is a song by Jace Carrillo. It's called Taking Off. It's out right now on all streaming platforms. You can go check it out. It's co-produced by myself and my good friend Luca, the producer. I recorded all the vocals, I mixed the track, and I mixed the track using this mix template that I'm showing you. I just want to take a few minutes to show you kind of the plugins in action and what they're doing in the context of an actual mix. So you can see on the mix trim, I ended up using that center plugin and I'm automating the sides up in the choruses. So that's kind of cool, creates a little bit of lift. 1073, didn't move at all, I don't think. I leave the setting this way pretty much all the time unless I want to tweak a little bit in the top or low, but in this case it didn't change. Then I ended up going with the Waves SSL comp, which is doing a little bit of compression on that like saucy preset, which is like the Dr. Dre thing where it's 30 attacks, so super slow attack, super fast release, very low ratio, just kind of grabbing the peaks of the drums, and it really helps kind of glue the mix together. Next I have the God Particle, which I'm using within the targets to kind of create that multi-band compression and expansion. This mix is so loaded with plugins, my computer is not happy. Oxford Inflator, doing a bit of lifting, not too much, very subtle. I have the Gullfoss doing a little bit of work here, especially in that top end. It's kind of taking out those resonances. This Brighton slider is really a secret sauce. Then the Precision Maximizer and the Clipper, doing a bit of clipping on those peaks. Very subtle. Bass, I have that saturation with the True Iron. You can see the compressor with that 808 is doing a lot of work. It's taking out some of that over loud bass, and it's kind of keeping the bass kind of steady the whole time. EQP 1A, I tweaked it a little bit, a little more top end, a little less low end than on the default. This, which is really cool, it's a sidechain. So I take the kick, I sidechain it to the bass track using this soothe. So every time the kick goes, the bass gets out of the way, but so discreetly. So that's very cool. The bass parallel tracks are working in this case as well. On the drum bus, I have my parallel saturation here. Let me solo it just so you can kind of hear it. So that's the NLS bus drums, and this is the normal drum bus. So it's cool, but it's like boring without the NLS bus. So I'll throw that in there. Nice. And then on the drum bus, I did a little bit of resonance handling here. The stereo width is still happening, the mono maker is still happening. I put a little bit of clipping on the drums. It allows me to get kind of louder, punchier drums without kind of smacking into my mix bus too hard. Then I have a bit of EQ doing a small lift here in the top end and a small lift at 50 Hertz. In the music bus, you can see how much this MV2 is working. Let me solo all the music, right? Look what happens when I mute this. It just loses all the beef, so that needs to stay. This is what the MV2 sounds like by itself. Right? It's not a lot of information, but it really does a lot in the context of the mix. I did a little bit of a top end boost here on the curve bender, not too crazy. You can see that the plugins themselves on the buses don't change all that much. The only thing that changes a lot is what I do with the vocals, because I'm crazy with the vocals, man. I put so much processing on my vocals, and I love it. I think it sounds fantastic. So on the bus itself, see on the lead bus, nothing's happening. So in the bus itself, I have this doing some lifting in the top end. I have this little EQ move. I got that transformer, I got that micro shift going. I put a EQP on the vocal as well. Little smiley face action. Little compression to handle the peaks in the vocal. Oh baby. Little bit of de-essing. And even, I don't do this often, I did a little bit of limiting on the vocal as well. See, it's barely doing anything. I'm assuming I did this because I wanted the vocal to really stay level and not get buried or, You know, so I just kind of limited. I took everything that's low, made it a little louder, took everything that's loud, make it a little quieter, just like compression, just brick wall, really hard. So it must be shaving off some peaks. Now on the individual vocal tracks and stuff, there's a boatload of processing, but that's individual to the actual song. And so that's not really part of the template at all. Here you can see I did some moves on the reverbs that I had in my template. Here, the Hall C1. I ended up changing it to ambience, finally, with a little bit of a different preset. And I have some filtering after the reverb and MV2. The MV2 helps kind of compress the reverb and make it feel longer without actually making the decay longer. So it kind of helps with the vibe of that reverb. And then I have the sidechain compression happening. So when the vocal's singing, the reverb gets out of the way. When he's not singing, the reverb comes back. Here I have a ping pong, which is in the template. Ping pong delay with a bit of reverb after it. And again, getting sidechained so it's not in the way of the vocal. Let's go check the backs. In this case, there weren't really any back vocals, so I didn't end up using the bus at all. And the couple effects that I ended up using were the chamber, the left and right Galaxy tape echoes. They kind of do this stereo slap delay thing. Very subtly in the mix, it helps give the vocal life. And a little bit of a quarter note delay, which is getting sidechained as well, probably only in the choruses. So that's it. Let's listen to a little sample section of the song, maybe like the end where it gets a little crazy. So I've shown you my whole mixing template in depth. Take what you will, copy whatever you want. I don't care, it's yours, take it. You've seen my whole busing scheme, my whole routing scheme, my top-down mixing technique, what plugins I'm using. I hope you found it helpful. I hope for some of you who asked me about the mixing template, hopefully it answers your questions. If you have more questions, don't be afraid to let me know down in the comments. I'll be happy to answer whatever questions you have. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Go pick up that free PDF gear guide. Beginners in audio, what to buy and how much it costs, www.mixwithjacob.com/gear guide. And that's it for me this week. I will see you next time. Peace.